Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm the Moon Mama, and today is Monday, and Monday is governed by the moon. And the moon is currently in Aries. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and so when the moon is in Aries, this is a really great time to begin new things. Um, for instance, I am today I'm going to be initiating a new schedule with my son, like really assisting him and being fully taking full responsibility for his day and outlining his day at the beginning of the day, and then setting up the things that he's going to do at certain times. And for the first week or so, I'll track to make sure that he's doing it. But each day I will give him a little more responsibility so that it's something that I'm not having to engage with him on, that he's doing it on his own. But also teaching him how to be with his calendar, how to be with his time. And so I'm going to initiate a new thing on a day when the moon is in Aries with my son, because the moon is the mother. And so if we understand, the powers of the moon, the energies of the moon, and how it works, then we can use this energy to influence our environment and ourselves in ways that makes our life more harmonious and more orderly. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the moonstones, because moonstones are crystals that help us manage our energy, help us flow, help us to access our emotions and our feelings. And there are several moonstones that are good to use. So this is just a small little piece of moonstone. You see, it has these little blue specks on it. And I'll just hold on to this throughout the day. Like, I just might be moving throughout my house holding on to it, because it will help me shift my emotions and feel my feelings. And it also helps reveal to me things that I might not see. It helps me notice thought patterns and things. Sometimes I can be stuck in my thoughts where I'm not able to be the witnesser. And so when I'm working with the moonstone, it gives me space between my higher consciousness and my ego, so that I can say, like, oh, why am I thinking about this person in that way? Oh, I'm noticing that I'm feeling insecure right now. It's the moonstone that helps me decipher what's going on inside of me. This is another moonstone. They're darker colored moonstones too. And they all work in very similar ways. This is a yoni egg, and I will wear this I will insert this inside of myself, and this will help me feel the energy, like it's like the ocean, right? So it's like it'll help me ride the energy of my own feelings, so that I'm not so sporadic or dramatic. Or when I was young, and my moon time would come, I was often suicidal, like having suicidal ideations, because I couldn't regulate my energy. I couldn't regulate my feelings and my emotions. And the moonstone, the yoni stone, when I started using that, I was far out of my teenage years and into my adult life, but it really did help me be able to see what I was doing internally. It helped me be able to recognize, oh, I'm having internal conversations with people. I'm feeling this way, but I didn't know I was feeling that way. And why am I feeling this way? And what do these feelings mean? All of these crystals will help us regulate our internal realities. And so I want to read some of what the moonstone does, so that you can understand for yourself. The moonstone is a stone of new beginnings. As its name suggests, it is strongly connected to the moon and the intuition. Like the moon, the stone is reflective and reminds us that as the moon waxes and wanes, so everything is a part of a cycle of change. Its most powerful effect is that it calms the emotions. The moonstone opens the mind to sudden irrational impulses, serendipity, and synchronicity. Care has to be taken that it does not induce illusions in response to wishful thinking. Psychologically, moonstone calms overreaction to situations and emotional triggers. Moonstone is filled with receptive, passive feminine energy. It balances male-female energies and aids men who want to get in touch with their female side. It is a perfect antidote for excessively macho men or overly aggressive men. And so if you have men in your life who are excessively aggressive or overly aggressive in any way, you could, put a moonstone underneath his pillow, or just let him carry it in his pocket, and then that will help him regulate his own energy. One of the other things that I'm using the moonstone for is being able to regulate my connection to my child. As our children, most of us are home with our children now. And if you're home with your children on a day-to-day basis now, I suggest you get some moonstone, because it will help the communication, the psychic communication between you and your children. It's important to understand that the way we think, because we carry the cells of our children in our minds, in our brains. And so our brains are electromagnetic fields. And so whatever we're thinking is connecting to our children. So we want to be thinking thoughts that really will support our children. That will, when I'm thinking, it's like, I'm thinking my son is doing so well today. I hear him flourishing. I know that he has everything that he needs, that he feels connected to his friends, that he's being listened to, that he's listening, that he's a good friend, that he's someone, who is able to grow and change. The moonstone really helps me, because having a child who has a diagnosis of Down syndrome in this culture talks about people, with autism and Down syndrome as if they are ill-equipped in some way. And the truth is that they have other gifts and other powers in ways that we don't. And so this moonstone helps me be able to connect with my son past my intellectual mind, past my egoic structures, into my heart. And it allows me to have empathy, So as adults now that we're home with our children, we need to be able to empathize with our children, because they are having an experience that we didn't have, that we didn't understand. We need to be able to understand that our children are not us. They're growing up in a world that is not like the one that we grew up in. And so it's easy to sort of get into this idea or feeling that our children are disrespecting us, or are not listening to us. And how can we create space for them to be themselves, to flourish, where we can have the experience of metal sharpens metal, but also understanding that we are learning from our children as much as they are learning from us. That our children know things about the world today that we don't know, because we are older and we have old codes. Like we think in a way that is not really conducive to the fluidity that the world is now. And our children really do have a leg up on us, honestly, because they are not as calcified. They are not as rigid. And the world is changing so much. So they are going to be able to flow, and they understand technology in ways that we don't. So it's very significant that we create a line of communication that is open and receptive, so that we are understanding that we are learning as much as we are teaching, that we can be fluid in our relationships with our children and not impose our own ideas or limitations, or our own childhood limitations upon our children, because it's a different world right now. And we're home and all of these things are happening. So congratulations to the parents whose children graduated this during this graduation ceremony. What a world that we're opening up for our children, and it's something we don't even know. So I encourage you to understand your relationship. The moon governs the mother. So if you are a mother, your relationship to your children is very influenced by the moon. Know that everything in our system is entirely alive. The moon is alive, the water is alive, the earth is alive, the plants, the insects, all of it is alive. And our system is shifting. So the more we can move ourselves into a natural relationship with the environment, with the moon, with nature, and things like that, the more harmonious our lives will be, because the old constructs and the old structures are coming undone. I've been saying this now for about 2 years, and now we're actually in it. And so it's important for us to learn how to think in alignment with nature and cycles, because that is what's real. What we've been doing for all of these years in this country isn't real. It's a lie. It's all been based on a lie. It's all been based on a lie of supremacy. And you see, women have been women have been suppressed. The feminine energy has been suppressed in our country. The women have been, suppressed. Our power has been suppressed. So now the natural order is being restored. And as natural order restores, the old order has to come undone. And so it looks scary. And so I encourage you to, spend time in nature, listen to the moon, join environments and groups where women are being encouraged to take leadership through our spiritual gifts, through our intuition, through our psychic abilities, through our connection to the herbs and the medicine of nature, through our connection through the cycles and understanding our bodies and understanding our connection to the earth. I've started taking herbal astrology class. I've started studying medical herbal astrology so that I can really learn how the earth and the electromagnetic field is influencing our bodies. When I go to the Western doctors, they don't even ask what kind of food I'm eating. They don't ask what my thoughts are. They don't ask how I'm feeling in relationship to, what's going on. They're just about money and making and giving subscriptions that enrich the pharmaceutical industry. So mothering is about more than just taking care of our children. It's about teaching them how to align to nature so that they understand the grand relationship of mother, that earth is our mother and that the cosmos is our mother and that we belong to everything and everyone. So while the moon is in Aries, find something new to begin today and get started on that. I am please encourage you to join the register for the Venus retrograde course. We did a whole series on relationships and how to change your relationship patterns. Venus retrograde volume 2 is going to be coming out. We're going to do I'm going to do a whole series on your relationship to money because Venus governs money. So I'll have that information so you can sign up for that soon. And then we're going to do one volume 3 on Venus and your body, how your relationship to your feelings and your emotions and how, your senses, and how you build your relationship to your senses through the 3D reality, taste, touch, and feelings, hearing, sight, and all of that sort of stuff. If you'd like to sign up for a new moon reading, you can do that here in my link tree. My services are here in the link tree. And if you'd like to join the 13 Moons Initiation, I think today is the last day to do it. If you want to work with the new moon and the new moon in Gemini and the full moon in Sag, today will be the last day to join this course, and it's $20.80. I am the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day today. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.